Well, back to the coziness thing. Okay. So, some women get really... This is one where I've been called upon to speak on blushing and what it means for me. And so I'm going to first off by saying, blushing, if you're a human, you can blush whether you choose to show it or not. It shows up more apparently on people with more transparent skin. So like my skin, if I bruise something, it'll turn black like the night sky, a literal black color. I have brown speckles on me. I have tan speckles on me. I can tan my skin. I can see red and blue veins in my skin. So it's transparent in that sense. And if blood rushes to an area, it can look pink or it can look red. And so blushing for me can first off happen when I'm cold. I blush when I'm cold. I blush when I'm being very physically active. So if I'm like at the gym or my cheeks get super pink. So blushing is like pink, cheeks turning pink. I get super pink if I'm out doing physical activity or just exercising, and they get super pink if I'm doing physical activity in the cold. Then it's like poof. It can also get pink if I get warm. So if it's too warm outside or if it's sunny, like it'll just get pink. Yeah, there's, aside from like physical or temperature kind of caused blushing, there's the it's usually happens in social settings when I'm extremely uncomfortable and someone has said something inappropriate or is approaching me and I don't feel comfortable. I think there's a kind of a myth that needs to be busted where like it's something like a girl likes you or something like that. I've never blushed, not once in my life, in that manner. Men have approached me, but I blush because I'm uncomfortable, and the level of discomfort in what they are doing to me, be it like talking to me or hitting on me or something like that, becomes so extreme that my body is trying to show you need to leave me alone, and the person misinterprets it, and I think partially that's just them living in their own fantastical world and choosing to interpret, purposefully misconstrue what blushing means by saying it's like, oh, a girl likes you. No. It actually means the polar opposite. At least in my case. I wish I could blush for my soulmates. That would be really cool. Maybe I will one day. But no, it's a bad thing for the social interactions kind of thing. And I'm gonna say, when I say people with transparent skin, I didn't assign it to one skin tone, because when I lived in sub-Saharan Africa, people who are sub-Saharan African by descent can actually still blush. Their cheeks actually turn pink. I think there are people in America, like African American males specifically, if you interact with them and they're harassing you, they kind of thing, or approaching you after you work out to purposefully be like, oh look, she's blushing, but you're like, I literally just spent an hour on the elliptical, like my cheeks are pink before you guys ever come along. Like, just use some common sense. But they do it to kind of stroke their ego. So if someone's harassing you or approaching you inappropriately and you're a woman or a man, it goes both ways, just like, it's what a lot of women have done. So this is more common I have found with women, but men, I do know a couple of men who've done this as well. Though I will say something flattering to the other person, so then this person that's making the person who's blushing very uncomfortable, maybe harassing them, doing very inappropriate things, might misinterpret what this person is saying, because the person is being, on planet Earth, self-defense is allowed against predators who are trying to take advantage of blushing when it's actually a sign of discomfort. And so people will actually stroke the egos of these people to get them to leave. And I have actually found with really bad people, stroking their egos does actually get them to leave me alone. So, that kind of thing. It is allowed. It's not bad. It's not lying. It's a self-defense mechanism, which is actually different than lying. And if the people didn't want that in the first place, they wouldn't ask. They wouldn't harass you in the first place. But getting back to the sub-Saharan African thing, they can blush. I've seen pink cheeks on sub-Saharan Africans. In the United States of America, I think African Americans tend to be like, we can't blush. And it's like, oh, honey, there are people on this planet way darker than you that even their cheeks turn pink. You choose not to blush. You choose not, or let's put it this way, you choose not to show that you blush. Every human can blush, no matter their skin tone, unless they have like a biological disorder, but that's not unique to race or ethnicity. That's an internal human plumbing problem in terms of blood flow. So yeah, there are disorders and stuff like that. So there are exceptions and anomalies in that sense. But based on race or ethnicity, some people are very conceited, and oddly enough, I'd say having transparent skin or more transparent skin than some people is just kind of it's interesting to see how some people misapply traits to entire races that don't have quote unquote transparent skin. And that one is actually more common from people who don't have skin quite like this. So it's just an interesting observation of culture in America.